We are live. Welcome back with Murphy Mac to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we help you get started on your fitness journey. What is up, folks? Happy Monday, everybody. I apologize. I forgot to do the podcast last night. So I'm recording this on Monday, but hey, we're still getting it done. We're going to post it up for y'all. It'll be ready to go Monday morning next week. But yeah, today's topic is going to be about mindful movement. So you may be asking, what is mindful movement? Like, what even is that? What does that mean? It simply just means being present and intentional with how you move your body throughout the day. So, something that I think is very important that is kind of slept on in your fitness journey is just being mindful about how you're moving throughout the day and increasing that, doing other things to increase the way you are moving throughout the day, because it can have a long-term effect on your fitness journey and on your health. And as we get into it more in the podcast, you'll see why. But yeah, we're gonna go through and give you some different ideas of what you could do throughout your day to help you move more, why it's important, you shouldn't be sitting all the time, and things like that. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. So movement isn't just about your gym sessions. It's not just about working out, running. It's about what you do throughout your entire day. So what you'll realize is your workouts or your running or your cardio, whatever you're doing that day, it's a very, very small portion of your day. It may be an hour, maybe 30 minutes, 2 hours max, but it's a very, very small portion of it. And if we're being honest, you don't really burn that many calories during a workout. Yeah, you burn more than you normally would in a normal hour, but you don't really burn that many in the grand scheme of things compared to how many you're consuming. So, how can we burn more calories throughout the day? Well, we can move more throughout the day. And no, I don't necessarily mean working out more. We don't need to work out twice or three times, or, you don't have to do that all day. But you can move your body more, being intentional about it. And this is easy ways to burn more calories, to stay healthier, keep your body loose, stretch, things like that. So, it's going to be good to not just focus on your workouts, your cardio sessions, your running, whatever it is you're doing. Also focus on what you're doing the rest of the day. So we'll just say your workout's 1 hour of the day. Well, guess what? You have 23 other hours of the day that you could be doing stuff to improve your health, to burn calories, and to get moving. So sedentary lifestyles have become the norm, especially with the way jobs are nowadays. A lot of people have office jobs. That's me. I'm one of those. I work at a desk most of my day, not all day, but most of my day I'm at a desk. So I'm pretty sedentary while I'm at work. And I know a lot of other people are this way too. And it's not good for our health. It's leading to numerous health issues. Some of these may be increased risk of obesity, cardiovascular disease, poor posture, chronic pain. I mean, there's all kinds that sitting all day is bad for you. I've heard the quote several times that sitting is the new smoking. Like, sitting is almost as bad for you as smoking is. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. In the long term, it's true. I mean, excessive sitting is linked to metabolic issues. It's linked to reduced blood flow, higher risk of early mortality. It has a negative impact on your mental health due to inactivity. And it's just not good for us to do long term. Yeah, you can sit for short periods of time, no problem. But if you're sitting 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, like, that's not good for you. It's going to take a toll on you over time. No, you won't see any effect from it in a short period of time, a day, a week, a month. You probably won't see it. But over years of doing this, it's going to have an effect on your health. But there's good news. There's ways to combat this. There's ways to overcome this. And that's what we're going to get into more into the podcast today. So, some benefits of moving more intentionally are: it enhances your mental clarity, it reduces stress, improves your posture. That's a big one. I have problems with this one a lot because my hips get really tight. When I sit down, my hips are shortened. The length of my hips are shortened. So I get tight and I have really tight hips because of that, because I sit a lot. And I know that's a problem that I have. So that's something that I work on, and I stretch them out a lot. But yeah, it can reduce aches from prolonged sitting, boost metabolism, improves cardiovascular health, encourages better mobility, encourages better flexibility over time. Because when you sit down, you're not using your muscles. Those muscles tend to shorten, which means they get less flexible, and you're not stretching them out over time. So then you lose that flexibility. You lose that range of motion that you used to have. So sitting can literally make you less flexible. It can increase your energy levels and overall well-being. So that's why you need to move more intentionally throughout the day. So some practical ways to incorporate more movement throughout your day is take a 5 to 10 minute walk every hour or so. Hey, every hour, set you a little alarm clock on your phone or on your watch or something. Hey, go if you're in an office, walk around the office for a second. Go talk to somebody and then go back to your office after, or go out to the parking lot, walk to your vehicle and back, or do something. You can use one of those standing desks that they have nowadays. That way you can switch between sitting and standing. So this is actually something that I do. I actually have one of these desk riser things, and I try to stand as much as possible. Yeah, I do sit. I normally go back and forth from sitting to standing. I try to do that pretty often throughout the day. But yeah, the more you can stand, the better. So I highly recommend getting one of these the sit stand desk things because it can help you a lot with sitting. You burn more calories standing. That's also another good thing. But it keeps you stretched out. You're not sitting all day. You don't have bad posture when you're standing. You're standing upright. Get your shoulders back, things like that. So it's a lot better to stand more than it is sitting. And also, I've learned that if I'm standing, I tend to fidget a little bit more. So I'll tend to move around. I'll move my hands more. When you're sitting, you don't really move a lot. And I know you don't really think that burns a lot of calories, but over a whole entire day and over a whole entire week, those calories can add up, which will help you in the long run. No, I'm not saying this is a sustainable, it is sustainable. This is not a way for you to try to lose weight. This is just a side effect of doing that, and it could be good for you. Another thing you can do is just stretch or do light mobility exercises at your desk. So I do this too. I tend to stretch a little bit while I'm standing there, do different things to loosen up, not stay so tight, especially after I've been sitting for a while. I will stand up, do some light mobility stuff. Not no serious all out stretching. I'm not on the ground stretching and stuff. I'm just standing up, loosen. There's all kinds of little things you can do standing up to kind of stretch out and stay loose throughout the day. So that's something you can do while you're at work, like if you work a desk job or something. And then at home, you can incorporate some household chores like cleaning or gardening, whatever you like to do at the house. Picking up after your kids, I know how that goes. So that's ways you can just incorporate some movement without really thinking about it. You could do a quick yoga session, light stretching session. And then another quick little hack is you can park further from your destination to add some extra steps. So if you're going to the grocery store, park at the back of the parking lot. If at home, you may park on the street or something. I don't know. Wherever you're going, if you're at work, you can even park further away. That way you get a little bit extra steps. I know it ain't going to be a lot, and it's not going to make a difference in that one day, but over time, it can really make a difference if you add it all up. So another thing to do in your daily routine is instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. Now, within reason, if you're going up 100 flights of stairs, yeah, you probably want to take the elevator. But if you're only going up 1, 2, 3, 4 flights of stairs, if you're only going up that many floors, you could take the stairs pretty easy. It's not going to make or break you, but that little bit of stairs you're doing, it can help a lot with how many steps you're taking throughout the day, how much calories you're burning, how am I trying to say this? How much movement you're getting in throughout the day. If you live close to some stores, instead of driving, you could walk or you could bike. If you live in a city or something, you could definitely do this. Instead of driving to run your errands, whatever it may be that you're doing, you could walk or bike. Those are good things to do. Or if you're really creative and you're really out there, you could do roller skating or skateboarding or something like that. Get some heelys if you want to. Throwback right there. But yeah, just try to make intentional movements part of your hobbies. So if you like playing sports, you get a lot of exercise in doing that. If you like dancing, that's obviously a good little exercise when it don't really seem like it. If you're playing sports or dancing, or you're doing something fun, yeah, it's fun and it don't seem like exercise because you're not thinking of it as exercise. You're thinking of it as that sport or that hobby, whatever you're doing. So it actually turns out to be a win-win. You get to have fun and you get to exercise all at the same time. So I highly suggest finding you some kind of recreational sport or something like that you like to do. So there's a connection when it comes to mindful movement and when it comes to long-term health. So it can build habits that support longevity and vitality. So I know it don't seem like a lot right then when you do it, but if you do this for years, it adds up over time. It builds up over time and it creates sustainable habits that you can do to burn more calories, to stay more active, to be more mobile, to stretch and things like that. And over the long term, it will have a big effect on you. It may not have an effect that single day, but it helps in the long term, especially if you're one of these people that sit all the time. If you work at a desk, you've probably experienced some of these things. You probably feel you're slumping over in your chair, your legs feel real tight, your hips are probably tight. You may have your neck may be rounded forward a little bit from looking at a screen all day. I know I kind of tend to do that myself, so I always try to make sure to pull my shoulders back. Try to have good posture, sit straight up and down instead of slumping backwards in the chair, or also leaning forwards. Another quick little hack you can do is pick your monitor up. So instead of looking down at your monitor or looking up at your monitor, you want to be looking like straight at your monitor. So lift your monitors up a little bit. You can even put it up on like a stand or something if you need to. And that's another way that'll help your neck from so you don't have to be looking down all the time. You can keep your neck in a more neutral position if you have your monitor up some. So that's gonna be good for you as well too. But yeah, if you're connecting with your mindful movement, it's gonna help prevent chronic illness like diabetes, heart disease, arthritis. If you're having the right posture, obviously, it's gonna help with arthritis and things like that. It's gonna strengthen your mental resilience through consistent activity. So it's not about what you do, but it's about how you do it. So the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you're working on your health, if you're working out and things like that, then you're gonna want to be more active throughout the rest of the day. And I think it all kind of plays hand in hand, and it's gonna have an effect on each other. So how do you start your mindful movement practice? Just first off, just be aware. Be aware of how long you're sitting during the day. A good way to do this is use reminders or use apps to encourage breaks. So I know the Apple Watch will tell you it's time to stand up sometimes. It'll tell you that. You can even add your own reminders, like in your reminders app or something. Set a timer to go off every hour or 2 hours or something like that. That way it reminds you, hey, I need to stand up. I need to move around. I need to go for a quick little walk, stretch, do something. Just be aware, set reminders. And this is an easy way to kind of remember that you need. Because I know a lot of times you get in the zone. Like when you're at work, you get in the zone, you be working on something. And before you know it, a couple of hours went by and you don't even realize it. You just been sitting there the whole time. So a good way to break this up into little chunks is you can add a little reminder in there, a little timer, alarm clock, something to go off. And that way you can get up, stretch, move around, walk around a little bit. And that's a good way to kind of stay active throughout the day. And at the same time, you're burning calories while you're doing all this. So it all goes hand in hand. So set small, achievable movement goals throughout the day. So the one that I do the most, that I think most people should do, is just have a step goal for the day. So my step goal is 10,000 steps. I know that's kind of a lot. So if you're kind of new to this or you're just starting out, I wouldn't start with 10,000. It's probably going to be a lot for you, but I would definitely try to work yourself up to 10,000. That should be your goal, is to get to 10,000. So what I would suggest is get an average of how many steps you're taking on an everyday basis. So if you already wear some kind of smartwatch, Apple Watch or Fitbit or Whoop, whatever you wear, if you already wear one, it's going to tell you how many steps you've been taking. Go back in your app, look at how many you take on average, like your weekly or monthly average, and then I would try to increase that by 2,000 steps. And then once you do that for a while, say your average was 5,000 steps a day. Well, you want to increase it to 7,000. And then once you get pretty consistent at hitting 7,000, bump it up to 8,000. And then when you get consistent with that, bump it up to 9, and then so on until you get to 10. I think 10 is a good kind of round number to be at. It's good where it's kind of enough. If you want to get 10,000 steps a day, you have to actually make it a point to go and walk, to get more steps in. Because if you just do your normal day, you're not going to get 10,000 steps in unless you have a very demanding job. Unless you work construction or something, then yeah, you probably will get 10,000. But if you work a desk job like I do, you're definitely not getting 10,000 unless you actually are mindful about it and you go and walk throughout your day. And it's easier to get these steps in throughout your day a little bit at a time instead of just after work just going for a long walk. Hey, if that's what you have to do, then do it. If you got to go for an hour walk when you get home, hey, I go for it. I recommend that. But you don't have to do that. You can get these steps in throughout the day just a little bit at a time. Maybe 500 steps here, 500 steps there. It don't have to be all at once. It don't have to be all or nothing. You can just get them throughout the day. And that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Another way I do this is when I'm at the gym, in between sets, I'll walk around. I'll walk around the gym when I'm trying to get my breath, in between each set. I'll walk around. Before I know it, before I leave the gym, I'll have 5,000 steps before I leave the gym, just from walking around the gym. So that's another little hack that I do. So whatever kind of workout session you're doing, or if you have a meeting or something every day, after your meeting, hey, walk around a little bit. After your meeting, use that as a time to get some more steps in. And focus on quality over quantity. Even simple stretches or walking with intention makes a difference. So don't just be doing stuff just to mark the box off, check it off. Do it for a reason. If your hips are tight, then focus on stretching your hips. Don't just be don't just do something random. Do something that you need to work on specifically. and just make sure you do it with intention. Like, it's called mindful movement for a reason. You're being specific about it. You're doing it on purpose. You're not just doing whatever. So in conclusion, the most important part of like overall health in your fitness journey is going to come in those 23 other hours of the day. Then like that's more important than that 1 hour that you're working out, in my opinion. Because if you worked out hard for 1 hour, but then you just didn't do nothing the rest of the day, you didn't eat right, you ate junk food, sat around, did nothing, well, then that workout was kind of pointless. It really, it's not pointless at the end of the day, but it kind of was. You kind of counterbalancing that hour workout you had with having a junk rest of the day. So those 23 hours are really a lot more important, in my opinion, than that 1 hour that you worked out. Yes, I'm not saying to not work out. You do need to be working out, but what you do in those other 23 hours are going to make or break you. So make sure you're having intention about it, being mindful about it. So I encourage you, start doing something. Like, start building consistency and do easy things like going for a walk, stretching, standing up at your desk instead of sitting down, parking further away. Just start with these small things and just build consistency over time. And before you know it, you're going to be moving a lot more intentional than you were before. I know a lot of times we can get caught up just sitting at the desk all the time, because I do the same thing and I'm bad about it. And every time I think about it, I get up and I go walk around. So I actually have a little meeting on my schedule, like a little reminder on my work calendar to get up and go walk around the site. Because I work on a construction site. So I'll get up and walk around the site, and that way I can get a lot of steps in and I can see what's going on at work. So it's kind of a win-win situation for me. I kind of knocking out two birds with one stone. So yeah, every step, every stretch, every movement, it's a step closer to a healthier you. So do it with intention, do it with purpose. So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. That's all I got for y'all for mindful movement. I know it's not a very like big topic, and it's not nothing like sexy or anything, but it can go a long way. Just being more active throughout your day can go a long way. You've probably heard of the term NEAT. So NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So this is like the calories that you burn when you're not exercising. So think of that throughout like the 23 other hours of your day. You want to be getting as much NEAT in as possible. And I know that's kind of controversy, because NEAT is technically when you're not trying to exercise. So like going and purposefully getting more steps in, going for a walk, that wouldn't really be considered NEAT. But just doing little things throughout the day will increase those numbers. So it's kind of, you can consider it NEAT if you want to or not. It really don't matter. But yeah, technically it's when you're not exercising. That's NEAT. But that's what we want to try to increase those numbers, that the calories and stuff that we're burning, how much we're moving when we're not exercising. So think of it however you want to. But yeah, we just want to be moving more when we're not at the gym. We're not working out. Stretch, walk, stand up, sit down, whatever it is. Sitting is the new smoking. And that's like going to be a term you probably hear a lot here in the near future, because more and more people are sitting down, working remote. A lot of people working at home nowadays. So you're definitely sitting down, probably on the couch, and so that's just a way of the times where there's not as many people working out in the field as it used to be. So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all tuning into the podcast. Y'all tune in next week for another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast. Hope y'all have a great day. Peace, love, protein. We out.